Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lukenessmonster. Today we're going to be reviewing the Star Wars The Black Series Phase 1 cloned Captain Rex. This figure is based off of the Ahsoka flashback, and it is the first ever time we've seen a Captain Rex in live action. Looking at the box here, this is number 16 in the Ahsoka line, and the box is in that Ahsoka blue color, which I think looks really good. Flipping around to the side, we do have this amazing artwork of Captain Rex, and I do think this artwork turned out really, really good. Flipping around to the back, we do have the bio, which you can pause and read if you would like. And of course, another image here of that Captain Rex artwork. Other than that though, there's not a whole lot else going on with the box, so let's get this figure open and see what it has to offer. So we got the brand new Black Series Captain Rex out of the box, and this guy is looking really dang good. I know so many people have been wanting a Phase 1 Captain Rex since the line started all the way back in 2014. And so it's about time that we finally got that Rex here. I gotta say, I think this one turned out really, really great. I know there is a lot of controversy around the Ahsoka live action appearance of this character. A lot of people don't believe that's what he would actually look like in live action. And to be honest, that's where I would disagree with people. It's because we actually saw this one in live action. That's what we got. It might not be what you thought it would have been, but it's what we got. And I'm really glad they were accurate to the Ahsoka show rather than to some like concept art fan designs of what a Phase 1 live action Rex would look like. And so yeah, this one I think looks really dang good. He's on the 3.0 clone body, so all of the amazing articulation points that you'd want from a clone trooper like this. And of course we are bringing back the Temuera Morrison head underneath with that removable helmet, which is looking amazing as well. So let's go ahead, get him off of the spinny stand and take a close look at everything this figure has to offer. Looking at this figure, I gotta say, I think the helmet sculpt here looks amazing. This is a completely brand new helmet sculpt for this figure, and it looks really good. He does have the movable rangefinder. One thing I think is interesting is the pauldron isn't like glued down or anything, so it's just loose on the figure. And I gotta say, that's a little weird. I wish they would have glued it down or something, just because it kind of floats around and it doesn't really stay where you want it to stay. But another thing I think is weird is that like goes all the way back around to the back of this, which I'm sure is accurate to the show. But it just looks a little wonky on this figure. For some reason, I kind of just expected the pauldron to end a little higher up, and it just goes all the way down, and it looks a little weird in my opinion. Then of course, we do have the really long holsters here, which I know is another big controversial design change for this live action appearance. I think it looks alright, and here's what it looks like with the blaster, and I think it looks just fine. I know people get upset when they change little things like that, but I think it looks just fine. I don't have any problem with it. I think some people were upset with the fact they did a hard plastic comma for this one rather than the soft goods one we've seen a few times in the line before. Again, another one that I'm just not too upset about. I think I like the hard plastic one on this. Soft goods is nice to get when we can get it, but like I said, it's not something that I'm like ride or die for. And I do think the hard plastic one here looks pretty good. We also have the helmet removed here, and we can see this Temuera Morrison face underneath. I think this one is looking really solid. As far as likeness goes, I think the likeness looks great. I think the hair is a little bright and it's a little saturated. Not quite as realistic as I would have liked for the hair color. I think it just looks a little too blonde. Or not necessarily blonde, but like too yellow. But regardless, I think this is one that looks really, really good. I do want to compare the face to the Phase 2 Rex though, because I gotta say, I think there's like a downgrade when it comes to the face here. I do really think there is so much more depth and realism to the older, this is like a 2018 figure. I really feel like the newer version looks a lot more animated and less realistic. I'm not sure if that's a change in the mold, or if that's a change in like a wash that goes over it, or maybe some paint details to add a little bit more depth to the face, but the newer one I think just looks a little toyish, while the older one looks a lot more realistic. And I gotta say, I do like the hair on the old one a lot better too. I like that more bleach blonde color than the more yellowish color. Moving into articulation, he is on the 3.0 body, so all the standard articulation you would expect. The head does have a ball joint at the top and the bottom of the neck, so tons of range of motion there. The shoulder pauldron here does get in the way a little bit of that neck articulation, but not too much. But where it really does get in the way is going to be the shoulders. You can still get up into a T-pose nicely, which is good, but when we get into the all the way around, that pauldron of course does get in the way. He does have a bicep swivel though, and he does get a little bit past 90 degrees at the elbows. One thing that I was really disappointed to see on this figure is they actually gave him a horizontal hinge on the left wrist, and then he does have the typical vertical hinge on the right wrist. But this figure is a dual pistol wielding character, and he really should have come with a vertical hinge on the left wrist. And this is something we've seen on the 3.0 body before, because we did see it on the Kenobi 501st Trooper. This one does have a vertical hinge on both hands, and so it's something they could have done, and it's weird to see that they didn't. Looking at the legs, this hard plastic comma does get in the way a little bit. You can kick up about this far. The splits is where it really gets in the way because he can't really get into a huge splits. He can bend the knee this far. And of course, that knee pad is free floating, which is great. He does have the classic pivots and rockers at the ankles. First up for comparisons, we do have the brand new Phase 1 Rex next to the Phase 2 Rex on the right, and the Revenge of the Sith Anakin on the left. And I gotta say, the biggest thing with this Rex in the middle is he just looks too clean to me. Obviously, the Rex on the right has a lot of weathering, and so when you pose them together, he just looks too clean and not weathered and battle damaged enough, in my opinion. But I will say, comparing the three here, this new Rex looks a whole lot more updated when it comes to molding and sculpting. It just looks a little bit more advanced compared to some of the dated molds of these older figures. Here we do have him next to the Clone Wars Anakin on the right. This is the newer Ahsoka version of the character. And then of course we do have the Seasons 3 through 5 version of Ahsoka on the left. And this trio of characters is something that we've been wanting to get in the Black Series for so long. They look so good together, and so finally the fact that we have this Phase 1 Rex to complete the trio looks so dang good. Like, these three figures here are my entire childhood, and I'm really happy we finally have them in 6-inch Black Series scale. Next up, we're comparing this Rex to some more Phase 1 troopers we have in the line. We have the Phase 1 501st on the left, looking so good, and just the classic plain Phase 1 on the right. Again, these are the figures I played with growing up, these classic Phase 1 kind of just grunts. And so to finally have them here in Black Series scale, it's a dream come true for me, and I think it looks really good all together. I do think the shades of blue between Rex and the 501st are a little off, which is kind of a shame, but for the most part they look really dang good all together. And then of course I had to set up this like 501st Phase 1 display here with all these figures together. It looks so good, and I'm really happy with how all these figures turned out. But yeah, overall I'm really happy with this figure. I do think you could use a lot more weathering, but to be honest, we haven't been getting weathering with figures in quite a few years now, so it's not something I can really expect from this figure. It's just something that I could want. And so besides that, I really like this figure, and I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. It does have some flaws, like I said, with the downgrade in the face. The face just seems so less realistic than what it was before. But to be honest, this is a figure I'm going to display with the helmet on, and so it doesn't bother me too much. A Phase 1 Rex is just a figure that we've been needing in the Black Series for so long now, and I'm just personally really happy we finally have it in the line. But I would love to know what you guys have to think about it, so let me know down in the comments, do you like this figure, do you not like it? Let me know down below. Overall though, I'm a big fan of it, and that is going to do it for this review. If you guys enjoy, make sure to go down, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.